4042. If an unpressurized aircraft is operated above 12,500 feet MSL, but not more than 14,000 feet MSL, for a period of 2 hours 20 minutes, how long during that time is the minimum flight crew required to use supplemental oxygen? A. 2 hours 20 minutes. B. 1 hour 20 minutes. C. 1 hour 50 minutes. The correct answer is C. If the required minimum flight crew is not given and using sufficient mental oxygen for that portion of the flight at those altitudes that is of more than 30 minutes duration, no person may operate a civil aircraft with U.S. registry at cabin pressure attitudes above 12,500 feet MSL up to and including 14,000 feet MSL. Solution: 2 hours 20 minus 30, 1 hour and 50 minutes. 4045. What is the maximum cabin pressure altitude at which a pilot can fly for longer than 30 minutes without using supplemental oxygen? A. 10,500 feet. B. 12,000 feet. C. 12,500 feet. The correct answer is C. According to the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, pilots are required to use supplemental oxygen if the cabin altitude stays above 12,500 feet for more than 30 minutes. This is because the air at higher altitudes is thinner and there is less oxygen available for the body to use. Without supplemental oxygen, pilots can experience symptoms of hypoxia, such as lightheadedness, fatigue, and impaired judgment. In extreme cases, hypoxia can lead to unconsciousness and death. To avoid the risk of hypoxia, pilots must use supplemental oxygen whenever the cabin altitude is above 12,500 feet for more than 30 minutes. This is true even if the pilot is not feeling any symptoms of hypoxia. The FAA has established this rule as a safety precaution to ensure that pilots are able to safely operate their aircraft at all times. 4052. What is the maximum IF or altitude you may fly in an unpressurized aircraft without providing passengers with supplemental oxygen? A. 12,500 feet. B. 14,000 feet. C. 15,000 feet. The correct answer is C. At cabin pressure heights exceeding 15,000 feet MSL, it is illegal to fly a civil aircraft with a U.S. registry unless every passenger is given supplemental oxygen. 4053. What is the oxygen requirement for an unpressurized aircraft at 15,000 feet? A. All occupants must use oxygen for the entire time at this altitude. B. Crew must start using oxygen at 12,000 feet and passengers at 15,000 feet. C. Crew must use oxygen for the entire time above 14,000 feet, and passengers must be provided supplemental oxygen only above 15,000 feet. The correct answer is C. If each passenger is not given supplementary oxygen, it is illegal to fly a civil aircraft with a U.S. register at cabin pressure elevations exceeding 15,000 feet MSL. 4809. Why is hypoxia particularly dangerous during flights with one pilot? A. Night vision may be so impaired that the pilot cannot see other aircraft. B. Symptoms of hypoxia may be difficult to recognize before the pilot's reactions are affected. C. The pilot may not be able to control the aircraft even if using oxygen. The correct answer is B. Hypoxia is a condition in which the body does not have enough oxygen. This can happen at high altitudes, where the air is thinner and there is less oxygen available. Symptoms of hypoxia can include lightheadedness, fatigue, impaired judgment, and unconsciousness. During a flight with one pilot, the pilot is responsible for all aspects of the flight, including navigation, communication, and control of the aircraft. If the pilot becomes hypoxic, they may not be able to recognize the symptoms or they may not be able to take corrective action. This can lead to a loss of control of the aircraft and a crash. The other two options are also correct, but they are not the most important reasons why hypoxia is dangerous during flights with one pilot. Night vision may be impaired, but this is not as likely to lead to a crash as impaired judgment and reactions. The pilot may not be able to control the aircraft even if using oxygen, but this is only likely to happen if the hypoxia is severe.